The following is a quick start guide to quickly give teachers an overview of the tracking feature of Math Buddies. We can track both assignments and tests. As a teacher, I'll log in and I'll click on the Task tab, and you will see a lot of tasks that I have assigned in the past. We can see what type it is under the type column. This happens to be an intervention test, there was a lesson, there was a pre-test. This is another assignment here, this quick guide demo. That's the one that I want to track. So I can see that 2 out of my 17 students have completed this assignment, but I need more information, more detailed information, so I'm going to go all the way over to the right to the View button, and I will click on that, and here I will see the 2 components of my lesson. The first one was a Learn component of Math Buddies, which my students needed to watch, and then there was a benchmark practice which they needed to complete. Across the top here we can see the students that it was assigned to, and at the bottom I can scroll across. It looks like most of my students have not completed this assignment as I scroll across to the end. Here are some students that did complete the assignment. So I can see student 45 here. There's a check mark by the Learn component, which means student 45 has watched that short tutorial. Same thing with student Z at the end. If there's no check mark, it means the students didn't watch the Learn component. For the benchmark practice, there's actually work that the students need to do, and that work is actually graded. So we can see student 45 here got 20%, and student Z here got 60%. But again, I want more detailed information on those students. Those aren't such good scores. So I can click on the grade and it will actually show me the student test paper. So here we're going to look at student Z's test paper, or excuse me, assignment. And we can see that they got 3 out of the 5 questions correct. They got numbers 2 and 4 incorrect. I can look at question number 2 to see what this particular student did. I can jump ahead to question number 4 if I want to see what the student put as the answer as opposed to the correct answer. And of course I can do the same here for student number 45. If I click on the grade, it will bring me to that student's paper where now I can get more detailed information. And I can even go through the questions individually. Question number 1, we can see the student got wrong, and we can see that this particular student didn't do very well, so I would want to pay close attention to this particular student. I can also export these results to an Excel spreadsheet. If we look on the upper right hand side, there's the Export tab. So I can export it to an Excel spreadsheet where I can save it electronically, I can print paper copies, I can also import it into a gradebook that accepts Excel as well. Okay, so that was for a particular assignment. We can also look at tests. Here we see it was a pre-test on number bonds. 2 out of my 16 students completed this particular pre-test, but again, I need some more detailed information. So I'm going to go across to the right to the View tab, click on that, and here I see my student 45 got 40 on this pre-test, student Z got 20. The rest of my students didn't complete this pre-test. Again, I need more detailed information, so I can click on their grade. For student Z, I can see their test paper by clicking on the grade, which again could give me some insight into this particular student and some of the answers that they put as opposed to the correct answers. I can do the same for student 45. I can do this for any of my students that may have completed the test. I can also do more of a question analysis by class. If I click on the bar graph icon where it says Analyze Test, I now get analysis by question. The first one is question number 1. And if I click on the preview, I can actually see what that question asks. Further, I can tell that none of my students got this correct, 2 of them got it incorrect, and then those 14 students that didn't even attempt this question for whatever reason. I can also do an analysis by performance. So once again, I can see all of my students and the scores that they got. All of this is under the Task tab.